It's week 2 from the Association of Counties in our legislative report. Certainly saw an uptick in bills and hearings this week, but I think next week's even going to be busier. A lot of bills were dropped, well over 200 new bills were put into the process, and the committees are going to really start earning their money, having hearings and taking testimony. Hope you guys are taking a look at our blog, look at the list of schedules coming up so you can engage. Probably the most significant thing for counties this week was something that didn't happen. Now, what did? We saw 2 bills that were withdrawn. Not a real common thing, but it was good for us. One was a very extensive rewrite of feedlot zoning ordinances and moving that whole oversight from the Department of Environmental Quality to the Ag Commissioner. There would have been more restrictions on county and township zoning as a result. There were problems with the bill and the sponsors withdrew it, and we hopefully won't have to deal with that this session. Similarly, there was a second liability limitation bill that had much higher liability limits, and that was withdrawn in favor of the OMB bill that was being heard in the House. That has come out with a 12-1 due pass with very moderate increases staged over the next 3 biennia. So we're going to have an opportunity to revisit that as we go along, and even the first increase doesn't take effect until June of 2022. So we can adequately budget if there is a budgetary impact. Good news for counties on that. Monday's hearing on House Bill 1116 was fairly non-eventful. This was a bill that would give counties greater authority to use their capital improvement levy for roads, as well as allowing that levy and their road levies to be used to borrow money for road improvements. Expansion really of county authority doesn't really change your ability to raise money, but it does change your ability and how you use the levies you already have. Looks like a positive thing going forward. The rest of Monday and Tuesday we saw was a big political debate about governor's powers, especially in emergency situations. We're just watching that right now, and we'll keep you up to date. And a big budget bill, the OMB budget, was heard this week, and that, although it affects us directly in guardianship funding, that keeps that cost off of counties. Probably the big issue that budget will deal with is ultimately the governor's bonding proposal and whether parts of that get included there and how that'll mesh with the other bonding proposals out there.
One of the Association of Counties' big resolutions dealt with DOCR and the prison prioritization plan, and our sheriffs came to testify on that bill. It's House Bill 1112. The bill seeks to have DOCR, if they enter the prison prioritization plan, DOCR must enter an agreement with counties to pay the medical and the housing costs. The bill didn't have any action with the committee, but it seemed to go over pretty well. We're looking pretty optimistic with that bill. And then the auditors came in on House Bill 1108. That's a publication bill. It seeks to eliminate the requirement for counties to list the bills in the newspapers. Again, a good hearing, lots of testimony. We had Auditor Mike Montplaisir and Erica Johnsrud testify. Opposition came in from the Newspaper Association. And again, we just want to remind our county folks to make sure you reach out to your legislative team here at NDACo. Email, text is always the best. But let us know if you have any questions or concerns. And always reach out to your legislators to let them know your position on our bills.